Kokolioko, chicken they grow for day.
As Liberia takes on tourism as an economic pillar, the people of Clay-Ashland may discover that their hope for the future may lie in their past. Between 1820 and 1864, approximately 12,000 freed black people immigrated to Liberia from the United States, and in 1846, many of these settlers, mainly from Kentucky, settled in an area along the St. Paul River that they call Kentucky in Africa. The name of the area was later changed to Clay-Ashland in honor of Senator Henry Clay of Kentucky, who was president of the American Colonization Society at the time. Clay-Ashland was the birthplace of the Truitt Party, Liberia's oldest political party, which was founded in 1868. The Truitt Party is also one of the oldest political parties in Africa. Clay-Ashland can also boast of being the home of two former presidents. Alfred Francis Russell, Liberia's 10th president, who served from 1883 to 1884, and William David Coleman, the country's 13th president, who served from 1896 to 1900. Today you can find William David Coleman's grave in Clay-Ashland in the Grace Episcopal Churchyard, the little green church at the top of the hill. In 1955, a son of President William David Coleman, Samuel David Coleman, co-founder and chairman of the Independent Truitt Party, the main opposition to Tubman's Truitt Party, was accused of participating in an alleged assassination attempt on President William V.S. Tubman's life. The incident, known in Liberia as the plot that failed, led to the death of Samuel David Coleman and his son John Coleman, who were killed by security forces who had circled around his farm, Coleman Farm in Clay-Ashland. Today, visitors to Clay-Ashland can see the graves of David Coleman and his son John Coleman in the Grace Episcopal Churchyard in Clay-Ashland. On June 9, 1990, the bullet-riddled bodies of three respected and prominent sons of Clay-Ashland were found dumped in the Po River in Virginia. The three were James Coleman, Aravanja Riches, who was the mayor of the city of Clay-Ashland, and Butler Freeman. The graves of these three sons of Clay-Ashland, James Coleman, Aravanja Riches, and Butler Freeman, can be found in the Methodist section of the Clay-Ashland graveyard. Like its rich history, Clay-Ashland is the home of many prominent families whose contribution to Liberia is part of our national dialogue. Martha Ann Ricks and her family immigrated in 1830 and settled in Clay-Ashland. Martha Ricks was an agriculturalist, but she was known for her needlework and the exquisite quilts that she made. In 1892, she traveled with First Lady Jean Roberts to England, and on July 16, 1892, Martha received a royal audience with Queen Victoria at Windsor Castle, where she personally presented Queen Victoria a quilt that Martha had taken more than 2 decades to make specifically for the Queen. Martha Ricks forever sealed Liberia and Clay-Ashland's names in world history. Augustus Washington was one of the only documented black photographers to use the first commercial photographic process to develop pictures. Although he was successful in the United States, in 1853 he chose to move his wife and 2 small children to Liberia. Augustus Washington acquired extensive property along the St. Paul River in Clay-Ashland and became one of Liberia's principal sugarcane growers. He photographed early life in Monrovia and several presidents, including Stephen Allen Benson, E.J. Roy, and Alfred F. Russell. Then there was Moses U. Ricks, a Baptist farmer from Clay-Ashland. Mr. Ricks donated the highest gift of $500 at the fundraiser to start a Baptist school in Liberia. And in 1887, Moses Ricks' generous contribution was used to purchase some of the property where Ricks Institute currently stands. Because of his generosity, the school was named in his honor. Eugenia Simpson Cooper was from Clay-Ashland. She moved to Monrovia and set up the Cooper Business School, which trained hundreds of typists, secretaries, stenographers, and bookkeepers. Eugenia was an educator, public official, civic leader who came back to Clay-Ashland and served as city mayor. With schools like D.L. Innes, William David Coleman High, and Bromley Mission being located in Clay-Ashland, many lives were impacted by educators from Clay-Ashland. Rosalyn Richards, Fametta Cooper Morris, and Flossie Scott ran the D.L. Innes Kindergarten School. Ellen G. Cooper got a contract from England to come to Liberia to teach at Bromley Mission. In addition to being one of the founders of the D.L. Innes Kindergarten, Fametta Cooper Morris was known for her hospitality. She catered to the needs of visitors to the city. She was popular for her famous crawfish gravy and the wonderful pastries she made. She died at her home in Clay-Ashland in 2016 at the age of 101. Other educators from Clay-Ashland taught at various schools around the country, including the interior. Mary Parker Freeman, teacher May, taught at Demonstration School in Monrovia. Her sister Priscilla Lambert Cooper moved to Chien Grand Jide, where she taught elementary school and led the Girl Scout. Some of the prominent families from Clay-Ashland includes the Colemans, the Dixons, the Fremons, the Johnsons, the Lamberts, the Lomaxes, the Morrises, the Nimbos, the Ricks, the Richards, the Askies, the Allens, the Ash, the Brooks, the Clarks, the Coopers, the Crumps, the Davises, the Harrises, the Innes, the Perkins, the Scotts, the Sims, the Simpsons, the Tates, and the Washingtons, to name a few. The city of Clay-Ashland, which is only 10 miles from Monrovia, faces many challenges. At first glance, it may appear to be a dying city as residents grapple with the challenges of the fallen bridge. It has been approximately 6 years now that the citizens and residents of Clay-Ashland, Millsburg, and Arlington have been disconnected from the rest of Montserrado County as a result of the fallen bridge over the Muley River near Bromley Episcopal Mission. The collapse of the bridge has forced some people to relocate from the city. Some who were constructing homes in Clay-Ashland stopped construction due to the added cost of getting building materials to their projects. Churches, the bedrock of Clay-Ashland, found their once crowded churches empty on Sunday mornings, and getting goods and supplies into the city has become expensive. The makeshift wooden bridge that was built to provide access to bikes and keke has seen its fair share of accidents, with people falling off the bridge into the water below. What is even more disheartening about the bridge is that the people were raising the funds to rebuild the bridge, only to see the bridge that was under construction and almost 70% complete washed away on July 13, 2022, after a night of heavy rains. While the city of Clay-Ashland lobbies the government of Liberia to place the construction of a much-needed two-lane bridge on the 2024-2025 budget, a temporary bridge made with containers as its base is being worked on. This temporary bridge is initiated by Montserrado County District 17 newly elected representative, Honorable Representative Bernard Blue Benson Jr., DJ Blue. Despite the challenges of the bridge, Clay-Ashland, which occupies the space between Broadville and Millsburg, is showing signs of development outside of the area of the town center known as the town proper. On the road to Clay-Ashland, using the alternate route, you see the brightly painted yellow building that is the Reverend Dr. James A. Webster Elementary School. In the area known as Six Culverts, you see newly constructed homes and houses that are still under construction. Land is also being sold in Clay-Ashland. Along the road, you see newly planted cornerstones, including on the land with the White Rocks, a potential tourist attraction. In the past, Clay-Ashland was a major hub on the St. Paul River transport system. There were 3 major river boats: Booty Dixon boat, originating from Arlington, Richard Cooper boat from Millsburg, and Johnny Morris boat, the elite pleasure boat known as the Kentucky, originated in Clay-Ashland. In the 1950s, when the Independent True-Week Party was being formed, it is said that these men took the Kentucky on the St. Paul River to hold their meetings to ensure absolute privacy. The Kentucky was also used as their weekend pleasure boat. The boats from Arlington and Millsburg made Clay-Ashland boat landing their next stop, and then on to Waterside, the final stop. In present-day Clay-Ashland, the city with its rich history is becoming a tourist destination. Boat tours from the St. Paul River make Clay-Ashland a weekly stop. However, the boat landing is in need of serious repairs. There is a section of the landing that you literally have to climb up on your hands and knees or have someone hoist you up. If Clay-Ashland is going to look to tourism as an economic tool, then the boat landing needs to be repaired, giving people coming to the city via the river fee-based, easier and safer access to Clay-Ashland. The landing is also a historical site. It is the same site that the settlers used to land in Kentucky in Africa when they first arrived in 1846. In other words, invest in the repair of the landing and charge a fee for every boat or canoe that lands there. It is often said that the only thing developing in Clay-Ashland is the graveyard. And to some extent, that is true. The graveyard is rapidly expanding as more descendants of Clay-Ashland are brought to the graveyard for burial. People with no direct ties to Clay-Ashland are also being buried there. However, the cemetery is only cleaned once a year in preparation for Decoration Day, the national holiday in Liberia where we pay respect to the dead. If we are going to involve the cemetery as part of the city's tourism plan, then we must figure out how to hire and pay staff to keep the graveyard clean and accessible all year round. During my visit to Clay-Ashland, I had the opportunity to sit and talk with a resident of the city, Dorothy Richards, daughter of the late Aravanja Richards, the famous Liberian artist and sculptor. Good morning, Dorothy.
Good morning, ma'am.
We're here because we want to talk about some of the challenges facing the people of Clay-Ashland.
The cemetery doesn't get clean until on Decoration Day. So if at all, we don't have a city mayor now because we can't say who will do it. But we had a city mayor, at least they will open an account in the bank. If anyone coming to bury, whatever money they're supposed to pay for that spot is paid to the bank and they pay the receipt to the city mayor office to show that they paid for it. In that manner, you can pay 2 or 3 guys to keep the cemetery clean all year through. You see? But no one wants to do it because nobody will do anything for you unless you pay them.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, when the families come to bury somebody and they pay for the graveyard, who does that money go to?
It goes to the city mayor's office.
So it goes to the city mayor's office?
And another thing too, some people don't pay because the churches have plots. So if you are from the Methodist church, they bury in the Methodist plot. I don't think they pay. I think because the plot belongs to the church that they belong to.
Okay.
But like outside or people, what they do. And sometimes they bring people from outside and take money from them and bury them in Clay-Ashland. People who not even from here.
Okay. The one and only clinic in Clay-Ashland, named after Liberia's 10th president, Alfred F. Russell, has its own set of challenges. The building housing the clinic has been servicing the community for decades. The building is old and is developing structural problems. The doors and door frames in the main clinic building are being eaten by termites. The walls are developing cracks. The metal stairs at the back of the clinic leading to the floor above is rusting and being held together by rope, posing risk to healthcare workers and patients. The clinic needs drugs and other medical supplies. The roof to the delivery room, which is housed in a smaller separate building, is badly leaking and in desperate need of repairs. The clinic needs a laboratory to do blood work, and the palaver hut that was being used as a waiting area for patients was knocked down by the storm and needs to be rebuilt. The clinic gets its electricity from solar. However, many of the solar lights have stopped working, prompting a need for additional solar panels and lights. The facility that serves as the clinic is owned by Grace Episcopal Church, who has graciously allowed the clinic to operate there for more than 60 years. The William D. Coleman School was recently renovated by the Richards and Coleman Family Foundation. The school looks good. In terms of challenges, the school lists the collapsed bridge as its biggest challenge. They also noted that they lack adequate office space for staff. Some of the items the school listed as desperate needs include a reading room and a library.
Hello, my name is Alfred Kesumo, Principal William D. Coleman High School, and we are asking the government to carry the school back to high school. We don't have a library. As you can see in my office, this is where we're using. This is the only office that we are using: principal, vice principal, registrar, PPS. This is the only area we're using. We don't have a library. We also want the Richards and Coleman to help us with a solar panel. Okay, we need computer at least to help us. Most of the time, when we have any work to do here, we have to go Iron Gate, and the transportation from here to go and come back. Transportation, we need computer, photocopy machine. In fact, what happened here is that that external building that will be constructed will want for each administrator to have his or her own office.
So how many administrators are you talking about?
We're talking about 3: principal, vice principal, VPR, VPSA, registrar. About 5.
So you need in a reading room that will have at least 5 offices attached.
Yes.
For the staff.
For the staff, yes.
Okay.
And talking about the education sector, especially to improve the school in Clay-Ashland, you know, we could get open a mini computer lab for the kids, because I mean the kids up there, they don't know anything about technology, and we know the world that we're in now. You know, at least so they can have hands-on experience in how to use the computer, you know, and stuff like that.
We are here in Clay-Ashland with Mr. Tamu Richards. Hello, Tamu.
Hello, Cousin Sierra.
Tamu.
Yeah.
Please, let's discuss what you see as the challenges facing the people of present-day Clay-Ashland.
Thank you for this platform. It's like I'm living in Clay-Ashland because every day I'm in Clay-Ashland due to this project that the Richards and Coleman Foundation started.
The William D. Coleman High School.
Yeah, the William D. Coleman High School, and I'm the lead contractor. It was good that you came today and I'm present with this interview. I see the day-to-day life, the livelihood of the people in Clay-Ashland, the challenges. I meet a lot of them in the daytime, so I know what they go through. Everybody will say the bridge, which is 100% correct, especially for the layman. People, this place is just a stone throw from Cardwell. Only Simple separates us. From Iron Gate, when the road is good, if the bridge is fixed, it's about 25-30 minutes drive. Now, water is being sold, a bag of water is being sold to Iron Gate for $5. When you reach Clay-Ashland, it might be 2 for $15 or $10, only because of the road condition. So one can imagine the livelihood of people here. But I said this again, the challenges people have to face with the road is not different from the challenges other people in other counties are faced with, like the Southeast. But what those people have done is that they've emancipated themselves from this mental slavery. They've moved on to say this road will not stop us from doing what we're supposed to be doing. I've been in the Southeast, people get stuck for about a week. No other road. For us, at least, we have an alternative route in order to come to Clay-Ashland. So for development-wise, people who have the money to develop in Clay-Ashland, that should not be 100% of an excuse. Right now, there is no bridge, but you see cars in Clay-Ashland, trucks are in Clay-Ashland almost on a daily basis. It is going to be tedious for a very poor man to be able to build here, I agree. But what's up with the people who live between the lines? That is not too bad for them. So the road, let's forget about the road. Other counties have the same challenges. 2 years ago, when you enter Clay-Ashland, the place had bush all over. Even the roads to get in, it was like just a motorbike path. I think people is trying to change the mindset. If they are not changing it, we need to encourage them to change the mindset, because
especially
it is
the people who own land.
Yeah, this is the greatest thing of all of us who are Liberians, our mindset. We need to be developmental oriented. Clay-Ashland, for one reason, I stood to the banks of the river the other time and I asked myself the question, since we don't have a road here, since we don't have a bridge, the only surviving bridge that comes to the whole of this side when you leave Rochefort Island, St. Paul's Bridge, is that bridge, St. Paul Bridge. Why can't we have a car ferry here that can link cars from Caldwell into Clay-Ashland and from Clay-Ashland to any other place?
And it's just a short thing to cross.
Very short, because right now you see the road in Caldwell. Caldwell has a heavy traffic. People living from all the way as far as Louisiana, they got to go all the way to Douala or Beer Factory before they can come down this way. Clay-Ashland is just a serious cut in. The thing about it is that it will change the landscape of things in Clay-Ashland. That would change the livelihood of people in this place. Before you know it, we'll be talking on a very different level if we as Clay-Ashlanders and the government can see that from that point. What if something happens to that bridge? Which other option do we have? As every other citizen I live in Broadville. What will happen? That's the question I put out to any meaningful Liberian and to the government. Clay-Ashland is a very historical site. I'm here every Saturday. I take note of tourists coming to Clay-Ashland. Tourists are always in Clay-Ashland. And you will be surprised to know that they don't use the car roads. Because I asked somebody earlier, I said, I always see these white people come here, but I don't see the cars they bring. And the guy said, no, they use the boat. And they land at the landing still. I said, at least I've had some settlement now. I know how these people come to Clay-Ashland, which is a beautiful thing. If people can use the river, ferry their way on the river by boat or by any other means and come here, that is just to tell you what we can do with this river. And for the tourism, last Saturday, the guy who owns the shop, the only shop in Clay-Ashland, that is where at least we go to have fun time nowadays. That is where you see people getting happy. First, people used to leave from Clay-Ashland to go to Iron Gate to enjoy themselves. Just imagine that. But now, Mr. Dixon, Theo Dixon, has a little entertainment spot here. He invited some friends from Bannersville. They came here and they were so delighted. The place so beautiful. They never even knew that we had a former president lying right here in Clay-Ashland. He just couldn't believe it. Not just him, but all of them. And they said that they were going to talk to the schools so that they take a field trip, bring the students here to see another side of history in Liberia. We might not notice these beautiful things or the heritage that we have sitting right underneath us. It is stranger sometimes I will expose them to you. Talking about the livelihood, the challenges of the people here. You see, like Komoha, you spoke with the principal. I wasn't there, so I don't know what all he may have told you, but they have a lot of challenges. You're talking about textbooks. Recently, the Richardson Coleman distributed copybooks, pencil, erasers to all of the students. That is not enough. They need qualified instructors. Now that they have a new building, at least they will start to attract other students from here to start attending the school. But that's not just all to it. They need qualified teachers, because if you have the beautiful building with all teachers. People are not going to subscribe to that. Students are leaving from here, going to school, Rosa and other schools far away from here. I mean, even in the town that people have easy access, some people will take their children from one point to a farther point. We understand because of certain schools, but most people that are here that need quality education for their children, they would prefer sending the children here than to go to the hassle of putting them on the motorbike to go to school that far. Yeah.
Thank you, Tano. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
At the Christian A. Richards School, I spoke with Mrs. Sia Richards Letnam, head of the Christian A. Richards School, about what she sees as the challenges facing the city. Sia had this to say.
As I'm saying, we need a mayor who really have interest in Clay-Ashland, a mayor that will get the community, motivated. And first of all, start keeping the place clean, because as soon as you get into Clay-Ashland, the first place you see is the playground place down there. And, after they have had church services or any kind of entertainment or so, to have the place clean, one thing. And then we don't have to wait everything for government to do. Like the bridge that was broken down, we had the Latter-day Saints, they were very active. They came and helped us through the school. Because of the school, they had that bridge erected. So we need to maintain the bridge, but we need people involved. The community has to be involved. Keep your community clean, and then Clay-Ashland will be all right again. We got this place from Grace Episcopal Church. We have to renegotiate for another 10 years or so. We can extend the building, but the problem now, we don't have teachers, qualified teachers for upgrading, and we don't have the equipment for upgrade.
And the Christian A. Richards School goes from kindergarten to
from nursery. From nursery. That's why it's an early childhood program.
From nursery
to 6th grade right now.
To 6th grade.
Yeah.
The Chinese have established several sand mining sites along the right and left banks of the St. Paul River that is affecting the cities along the river, including Clay-Ashland. During the mining of sand, any mineral they extract is taken away unreported. The mining of sand disturbs the river, murky the water, causes the land shelf along the banks of the river to fall into the river, drives the fish away, and the noise generated by the boats is loud and disturbs the people and fish. This method of mining sand from the river is something that the people of Clay-Ashland must work with their representative to stop. Sand mining also has a negative effect on tourism. It is said that development follows the road. A good example is Caldwell, the city across the river. The Caldwell Road was paved under the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration. Since then, we have seen Caldwell developed in leaps and bounds. The city is growing fast as people rush to Caldwell to build homes, offices, establish new businesses in the area, and the new home of Redemption Hospital is being built in Caldwell. One silver lining in a dark economic cloud that is hanging over Clay-Ashland was the groundbreaking and start of construction of the Sunrise Soap Factory. The factory, when completed, will bring employment to the city. The project is in the early stages of construction, but it is already hiring local people to work during the construction phase. This dream to build a factory in Clay-Ashland is the brainchild of Mr. Rockefeller F. Cooper I, a chemist and a son of Clay-Ashland and Millsburg.
They have all these plans for Clay-Ashland, but there's not really any kind of coordination when it comes to the projects, you know. So it's necessary for them to have an office on the ground that will be able to coordinate the work that they want to do there. Because just imagine they've been talking about scholarships for students, but you find out that it's not really, you know, coming to
fruition.
Yeah, because I guess the people don't know where to go, they don't know the process, you know, and all that. But if there's an office on the ground, you know, to be able to coordinate this, I mean, it will be more, you know, if citizens will benefit from it. Yeah, and they also need to take into consideration the fact that the people in Clay-Ashland, they are not familiar with this internet technology. You know, there's internet going online to fill out forms and all that.
Yes, I agree with you in terms of having a office.
Yes, an office on the ground that will process these, you know, also vet these students, you know, and send whatsoever information to the foundation office for processing. Yeah, that's the whole idea, you know, of the office. Somebody will be on ground to supervise the projects, you know, make sure, and also if there's an office with somebody there, they will be able to really assess the people's needs. Just this morning, I was thinking on the whole idea. Okay, we're doing this, we're doing that. But what about empowerment? The Clay-Ashlanders, they are farmers. The foundation can also help. Maybe, you know, to be able to find what tools they need, fertilizers, those kind of things that we can get right here, you know, to help the people with their farm work. And there's a lot of young people just roaming around the place, young girls, you know, drop out of school because of teenage pregnancy and all that. What if we are able to organize skills training? You know, like the organization that I'm with, we organize skills training for women where we get people to teach them, show them how to make this the soap, the liquid soap, you know, the detergent, all those things. And I mean, it's really, a lot of women are getting into the business just from what they have learned. We say we want to do direct farming, maybe encourage them to form a cooperative where they will join together to make farms. They will not work. What I'm saying, to empower them, those who have their farms, they got cassava farm, they got sugarcane farm, you know, assist them with the tools they need, the tapia, the hoe, you know, what they need to keep the
so supporting existing farmers and not really trying to encourage new people to get into farming, but those that are already interested,
yes,
help them to succeed.
Yes. Okay. Because sometimes it's frustrating if you want to help new people to succeed. Let people already be doing something. Because most of the time, people will come and say, oh, I want to do this, and you try to help them, and they do something else. So it's better for people to always already be doing, you know, doing something, and you support them in there to make it bigger.
Oh, please, Barbara.